Alston Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Backdoor, finding McCraven, pass a little high for him. McCraven had backdoor, finding McCraven, pass a little high for him. McCraven had a reset, puts it up off the glass, good.
Out to Hallie Crockett, her second baseball pass up the floor to Abby Richmond. Right-handed layup for two.
Still backing and backing, gets stalled again, and picks up 2 points. So 2-point takedown.
The puck tries to reverse along the boards, taken away by Parker. Followed out a goal! Parker tees up Brody Schultz!
Little right-handed dribble, goes to Reichel, deep three-pointer on the way! That's good.
Up the floor, Severson over to Bevins, all alone, steps up, shoots the three, and it's good.
Alston Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Hey, welcome. We're back live from the Fargo Dome here in Fargo, North Dakota for the 2023 North Dakota State Class B Dual Championship. The Lisbon Broncos against the South Border Mustangs. This is a repetitive affair here between the Broncos and the Mustangs. They're going on here tonight. The Lisbon Broncos made their way into this championship duel. They picked up a first-round win. The Broncos did over the Headingley Scranton Nighthawks by a score of 50-24. South Border won their opening duel in similar fashion. Same score there, a little bit of a deja vu. South Border down Velva by a score of 50-24 in that first round action. And then the Lisbon Broncos in the second round took on the number 4 seed Central Cass Squirrels. And the Broncos won that duel in convincing fashion by a score of 60-15 over Central Cass. South Border Mustangs were in a dogfight, going blow for blow with the New Salem Almont Holsteins. Here are the Holsteins on the individual sides, but they come up a little bit short against the Mustangs, where South Border wins by a score of 34-28, advance into the championship duel against the Lisbon Broncos. This is your Irie Insurance pregame, pre-match show here. For all your insurance needs, visit Irie Insurance online at irieinsurance.com. The Lisbon Broncos coming to this duel tonight. They are undefeated in North Dakota Class B duels, also Region 1 duels. Lisbon and Southport have met up in that Region 1 dual team championship with the Broncos winning that one handily over the Southport Mustangs. And during the regular season, they had a close duel that was held out in Wishick, North Dakota. A lot of the matches there in that duel came up, between 1 or 2 points, and sudden victory overtime wins for the Broncos, able to kind of squeak out a win there in the regular season duels, but came back there, fired up in regions, and won in convincing fashion over the Southport Mustangs. They find themselves met up once again here for a state Class B championship. So we're going to go ahead and step away here with our Irie Insurance pregame, pre-match show and get back for our starting lineups, our American Crystal Sugar starting lineups. We'll be back here shortly after a word from our sponsors.
Bank of North Dakota wants you to be confident when it's time to make student loan decisions. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident to calculate the maximum amount of student loan debt that is recommended based on your career choice. You can also learn how to apply for financial aid and get tips to cut education expenses. Visit bnd.nd.gov/confident today.
The Kindred Vikings Booster Club is an organization of parents and community members that supports and encourages the advancement to Kindred athletic programs, focusing on wholesome school spirit, promoting good sportsmanship, and developing high ideals of character. For more information, or if you'd like to be part of the Kindred Vikings Booster Club, send an email to kindredboosterclub@gmail.com. That's kindredboosterclub@gmail.com. Go Vikings!
All right, hey, welcome back here to the Fargo Dome. I'm sports announcer guy Brent Dick here with your YourLiveEvent.com broadcast of the state championship Class B duel between the Lisbon Broncos and the Southport Mustangs here with your Irie Insurance pregame, pre-match show. Going into your American Crystal Sugar starting lineup for the Lisbon Broncos. We will start this duel at 220 pounds, so the Broncos right now have Drew Anderson wrestling 220 pounds in lineup for the Broncos as a junior. A state qualifier for Lisbon, Grant Lyons at 285. Placed third at the 285 division individual tournament portion here on Thursday and Friday. Also a third place state finisher last year at the 2022 state tournament. 106, they got Cruz Ranky and Ian Anderson weighed in. 113 pounds, Grayson Lyons. 120, Noah Anderson. 126, Ryan Egg. 132, Griffin Greenlee. And 138, Carter Wallner. Also a state place winner, placed sixth in the state tournament. Should mention Griffin Greenlee, a seventh place state finisher. Noah Anderson, a state runner-up yesterday as well. 145 is Mike Nelson, a junior, placed third at the state tournament. Also a three-time state place winner for the Lisbon Broncos. Jordan Dick also in the lineup for Lisbon, being bumped around. And Blaze Ranky at 152 pounds, placed second, a state runner-up, took on Marshall Lingard. So you may see that matchup again here today between Southport and Lisbon Broncos. Also Eli Lyons in lineup for Lisbon. Wrestling 152 up to 170 pounds. Bowden Greenlee, a state champion, five-time state champion, state consecutive win record here for the Broncos. And also the state Class B of North Dakota has that currently going here. And also 182, Levi's Fem for Lisbon. So we're getting started here right away into our duel. Wrestlers are out on the mat. Looks like Shane Nitschke going out there, and Aiden Hinkle for the Lisbon Broncos at 220 pounds. So Drew Anderson not going out here for Lisbon. And that match normally ends up with a pin by Nitschke. So Aiden Hinkle being thrown out here. First year wrestling for the Broncos, going to try to be one of those prodigies Lisbon seems to be able to find off that football team. So if you have a football team out there and you're struggling to fill your lineup here in the wrestling, go out there, get some of those linemen involved in wrestling. That's been Lisbon's found a lot of success in that, being to pull those guys out and get them out for wrestling. And it's just one of those sports where they build upon each other as far as your footwork, agility, balance, low center of gravity, all that stuff. So the Broncos here at the Aiden Hinkle getting a start. Has two matches so far in the state Class B wrestling tournament. 6 months ago he's probably sitting on his couch thinking something a little bit different here in February, but he's out here wrestling in the state tournament and has to take on the state champion, Shane Nitschke. So this match now underway between the Southport Mustangs and the Lisbon Broncos. And right away, Nitschke out here with a 2-point takedown. And looking at your American Crystal Sugar starting lineup for the Southport Mustangs, 220, we do have Nitschke out there. He's currently on top in the top position. He's up 2-0. And also at heavyweight, they have Haas. So Haas, a state qualifier for the Southport Mustangs, Ryland Vetter at 106 pounds. Also Jared Schilling, Ryan Veller, a state qualifier for Southport. And Brody Michelson, a state qualifier at 113 pounds for Southport. Joseph Keller, state qualifier at 120. Tristan Lepp placed 4th at the state tournament. Riker Vetter placed 6th at 132 pounds. Also Brody Hoppin in the lineup, but right now questionable is whether he'll get the start. Carson Glazman at 145, 5th place state finisher. Marshall Lindgren at 152, state champion. Now Nitschke has Hinkle locked up in a cradle. Is going to roll him over here. Hinkle trying to fight off his back. Referee official down there taking a look at the mat. And he's going to call the pin, slaps the mat. So Aiden Hinkle for the Broncos goes down by fall to Shane Nitschke. Southport are taking a quick 6-0 lead, opening up this duel. So now that brings up our heavyweight match. And go back to that starting lineup at 152 pounds also. At 160, we have Cole Nitschke and also Cole Stock. Cole Stock, 7th place finisher at 160 pounds. Jace Nitschke, 2nd place finisher at 160 pounds, or excuse me, at 170 pounds, or 160 pounds for the Southport Mustangs. Herman Koch, 6th place finisher at 182, also in here in the lineup at 170, 182. Taylor Meyer did not qualify. He's in the lineup for Southport along with Daniel Schumacher, a 3rd place finisher at 195 pounds for Southport. That kind of rounds up both teams' lineup. So it's just one of those things here. Wrestlers get bumped around, moved around. They can weigh in. They're alternates as well, and that's what we see here. Right now, the Grant Lions going out here for the Broncos, and Josh Hayes for the Southport Mustangs. And the wrestlers at the score table just having a little bit of problem here getting sweater. Actually, you got a TV timeout, so you can also watch this on Track Wrestling and catch it on Beck Sports Live if you want to watch the video of this. NFHS Network, also another option. So a lot of coverage here for this. At least the state Class B, the boys duels, A and B duels. So Josh Hayes wrestling out there against Grant Lyons. Then Lyons going to go into Hayes. Hayes just backing around the mat. Lyons trying to track him down. Hayes going to pummel out. The Lions with about a 5 or 6 inch height advantage on Hayes. So Hayes trying to track him down. Hayes just backing up, not warned for stalling. You see that kind of in the smaller guys. You get a guy backing up. They're warned for stalling, but the referee not breaking out the stalling call. They're down to minute 22. Lions just continually tracking down Hayes. Now they're going to square up. Lions go into Hayes once again, trying to work his double underhooks. Now Lion goes over the top, going to trade out strategy. Has him locked up. Hayes going to trip him down to the mat. Now Lions throws him down here, working inbounds for the fall for the Lisbon Broncos, trying to tie this thing up, and he's going to win by fall as Grant Lyons. So his strategy worked. Tracked down Hayes, finally went over-unders, throws him down to the mat, so he wins by fall. Ties it up here. That's going to go to 106 pounds here. Key matchup in this duel between Vetter of the Southport Mustangs and the wrestler from the Lisbon Broncos. So Cruz Ranke going out here for the Broncos. This is a 50-50 match. Ryland Vetter kind of getting the best of Ranke here the last 2 times they've been out. Ranke just has to finish this match. He's been up in these matches a couple times here at the end of the season and not able to finish it. And we'll see if he's made his adjustments and is ready to wrestle. Ranke not wrestling the state tournament. Ryland Vetter, a state qualifier. So we're all tied up here going to 106 pounds. We'll try to keep you updated on our duels around here. Center Cast wrestling New Salem Holsteins for that 3rd and 4th place duel. So we also have to wait here for TV timeouts here for Beck Sports. That's why some of these matches here on this championship duel, a little bit of a leg time, but wrestlers are checked in with Ryland Vetter and Cruz Ranke taking the mat. So a big match here, one of these pivotal matches in our duel between Ranke and Ryland Vetter. And Center Cass and New Salem Almont. That's a 12-0 lead for New Salem Almont. They're also at 106 pounds. Broncos and the Mustangs are tied up. That's for 3rd and 4th over there on mat number 10. And Vetter and Ranke locked up. We have a discussion over here. Also another Bank North timeout on mat number 11. And that's between the Velva Aggies and the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks. They're also at 106 pounds. That duel is tied up 6-6. Ranke and Vetter just trying to get a spot here, get a view of what's going on over there right now. Vetter's Kind of in that forklift position, going to try to come out the back door on Ranky. You got a scrabble going on. Ranky's able to get faces back up on Vetter. Now he's going to get around for a 2-point takedown. Vetter's going to sit out. A good scramble between Ranky and Ryland Vetter. Good exchange there. Ryland Vetter looked like just when Ranky's going to turn the corner, able to right the ship, gets back down to his base. Now working underneath, trying to dump Ranky to his hip. And Vetter's going to go hip down. Ranky's trying to stuff it. Working over the top is Cruz Ranky. Now Ranky's going to step behind Vetter. Neither wrestler really with the advantage here. Down to 48 seconds to go in this first period. Now Ranky's going to go inside cradle on Vetter. Has it locked up. Vetter still working the leg of Ranky. Now Ranky goes head in the hole trying to get Vetter down to his hip. Ranky's going to step around. Vetter able to defend here with Ranky. Ranky just not able to. Now Ranky's going to throw Ryland Vetter down to the mat. Cruz Ranky working for the foul for the Broncos. Picks up some near fall, so he will have near fall coming down to 19 seconds to go in this first period. Cruz Ranky not able to step across. Ryland Vetter doing a good job defending, keeping those shoulders up off the mat, but Ranky picks up 3-point near fall. So he will go up by a score of 5-0 as the final seconds tick away here in this first period. Ranky takes a 5-0 lead into the second. And like I said, this is a back and forth match, 5-point deficit. Very doable here to start the second period for Ryland Vetter to come back. So it is decision. We're going to start this second period up on our feet. There's 2 minutes on the clock here. Second period. Ranky leads us one by score 5-0. Neither wrestler tied up right now, just kind of dancing around in that center of the mat. Ranky goes a couple of head taps. And one of these marquee matchup in our American Crystal Sugar starting lineups. Now Vetter commits to a double leg. Ranky is going to sprawl out, working the ankle. Ryland Vetter gets behind him. Now scores a 2-point takedown on Ryland Vetter. Vetter's trying to come arm over. Able to get some separation, gets turned back out in a situation position with Ranky up over the top, chest on the back. And Vetter is working underneath, going to try to dump Ranky. And that's down to 1:17 to go. They got a stalemate back to the center of the mat for a restart. Ryland Vetter in the bottom position. Ranky's up now by a score of 7-0. Just keep in mind, Ranky with some fresh set of legs out here. Not in the state tournament. Ryland Vetter, a state qualifier. Had a couple matches here at the state tournament. Not a state place winner, but a state qualifier. Now down to 1:08 to go in the second period. Ranky's just trying to dig out an arm on Ryland Vetter. Vetter does have a Peterson roll that he whips out every once in a while. Good roll on him, so Ranky's got to watch out for that. Keep those hips back and stay behind the arms and elbows of Ryland Vetter. So now Vetter towards a 1-point escape. Here's a 7-1 lead for Cruz Ranky. So Ranky leads by a score of 7-1. The Broncos lead this duel 6-6. 195. Started this duel at 220. Shane Nitschke picks up the win there at 220. Now Vetter's going to go higher crotch fireman's on Ranky. Gets him down to his hip. Ranky has to go belly down. Now a 7-3 lead for Cruz Ranky, down to 15 seconds to go in this period here. So Ranky head down to the mat. Looks like Vetter working a crossface or coming over the top now, down to 4 seconds left in this period for Cruz Ranky and Ryland Vetter. And that'll do it here with Ranky has a 7-3 lead. Looks at his coaches tell him to take the bottom position. Vetter right now with a 7-3, or down by 4 points in the top position. Ranky in the bottom position here. Vetter just been chipping away at this lead by Ranky. Ranky grabbed a quick 5-0 lead at the beginning of this first period. Now Vetter has this back leg of Ranky, has it spiked. He's going to go a quarter Nelson or a half Nelson on the far side. Has Ranky stretched out, just trying to drag that shoulder over. Now he gets a full Nelson, so a technical violation by Ryland Vetter as his fingers touched over the top. So an 8-3 lead now for Cruz Ranky. He's in the bottom position with 1:38 to go in this third period. That duel for third and fourth place is now tied up at 12 apiece between the Salem Holsteins And they're at 113 pounds, and the Central Cass Squirrels, that's also on yourliveevent.com. You can catch that there, the state Class B 3rd and 4th place duel between New Salem and Central Cass, along with George Deutsch and Chase Miller. Also, the Central Cass girls team who work going for a state championship. That call with Joe Morgan on yourliveevent.com. So Ryland Vetter up in the top position, now to a minute 10 to go. Vetter's going to go try to go guillotine on Ranky. Vetter with that leg ride in. And Ranky not really doing much to counter the leg ride. Now Vetter's trying to go cradle over the top. Ranky gets some hand control. Ranky's got to watch this. Vetter does have that far leg, and he's just going to try to elevate this and come over on Ranky. Ranky's able to get to his feet. Vetter's going to trip him back down to the mat now with 44 seconds to go. Vetter working on top, trying to go that crossbody ride. Stuffs the head of Ranky down to the mat. Now Ranky working that arm control, trying to pull that arm over the head and then get a little separation there, turning those hips into him. Now Vetter's going to go out top, trying to hit a cement mixer on Ranky. Ranky's going to go belly down. So Ranky's going to, a cement mixer by Vetter. Vetter's going to go to his back. He's going to give up 2-point reversal. So now Ranky leads us by a score of 10-3. So it's a 10-3 lead. Vetter just kind of a dangerous move there. He wanted to go for the win, but also could have given up a pin there. You got to keep that in mind in these duels. Sometimes it's, just go for that decision instead of giving up that big six-point pin. And Cruz Ranky is going to win by decision, 10-3 over Ryland Vetter. That puts the Broncos up by a score of 9-6. That's going into 113 pounds. So Cruz Ranky picking up the win for the Lisbon Broncos. I should say every match here is key in this championship duel, but that's one of them there. That's a toss-up match, 50-50 every time they step on the mat between Ranky and Ryland Vetter. So that moves us down here to 113. So we'll see who the Southport Mustangs check in here at 113 pounds. In that third and fourth place match, looks like Grayson Lyons checking in for the Lisbon Broncos at 113 pounds. So Lisbon now leads the duel by a score of 9-6. This is for the North Dakota State Class B Dual Team Championship. So opened up the duel at 220 pounds with the Shane Nitschke pin for the Southport Mustangs, wrestling Aiden Hinkle, and then at heavyweight, Grant Lyons tracks down Joshua Hayes, throws him on his back for a 6-point pin for Lisbon. Lisbon gets another win with Ryland Vetter. With the Cruz Ranky win over Ryland Vetter by decision, a 10-3 decision. So we're now ready to go here between Brody Michelson and Grayson Lyons. Michelson has had the advantage in this head-to-head matchup all season long. The Lyons and Michelson going at it now, locked up head-to-head. Both wrestlers in the individual portion of the state tournament. With Brody Michelson, a state qualifier. Grayson Lyons also a state qualifier for each team here. Down to a minute 30 in that first period. Now Michelson, nice double leg shot into Grayson Lyons. Lyons with a big sprawl, working that back ankle. And he gets Michelson broke down, going to try to drag him by. Michelson's going to go high crotch fireman's. Good adjustment by Brody Michelson to get that hand up in there. Grabs the leg of Grayson Lyons. Lyons got a cradle hooked up. He's going to try to toss him over. Michelson heavy on the leg, going to try to hit a peek out. Lyons still with that cradle locked up. And we're going to get now Lyons goes inside cradle on Michelson. Going to try to run it over here. Michelson gets stood back up. No damage done. Down to 50 seconds to go in that first period. Still scoreless. Now Grayson Lyons goes kind of Russian tie into a collar, kind of clubs the head of Michelson. The wrestlers break apart. Michelson, nice double leg, got in deep on Grayson Lyons, takes him down to the mat. Just missed a half Nelson. So now Brody Michelson leads by a score of 2-0. And Michelson made that adjustment on that double leg shot. Tried it the first time. Lyons was able to defend against it. Goes the second time with it. Has a big double leg blast and takes Lyons down to the mat here with 15 seconds remaining in this first period. And Michelson with that leg Lions still belly down on the mat, not able to get up to his base. And time winds down here going into the second period. It's a 2-0 lead for Brody Michelson. And Michael's going to defer to Grayson Lyons. Lyons chooses both up. So Michelson got that first takedown here in this match. He leads by a score of 2-0 to start this second period. Michelson in on another double leg shot. Lyons trying to go on the head. Michelson's going to pick it up. Going to step into it. Has Lyons going to the mat. Lyons on his butt. He's got to get belly down here. Lyons still trying to save this takedown attempt, but at some point he's going to have to bail out, as Michelson does have the arm caught of Grayson Lyons. Lyons still trying to get those hips up. Michelson has Lyons in trouble on his hip. Lyons has to bail here. So a 2-point takedown for Brody Michelson. So a 2-point takedown for Brody Michelson. He's up now 4-0. He's going crossface. Has a tight crossface locked up. Looked like he was going to get around on that leg on Lyons. Lyons able to get out of it now, trying to get a little wrist control. Gets up to his base. These wrestlers, Michelson just winning the battle on the feet here. He's up 4-0 with 50 seconds remaining. Every point in the match, every team point crucial between the Southport Mustangs and Lisbon Broncos here. We're wrestling for a state championship. And they're still tied up at 120 pounds. They're in that third and fourth place match between the Salem Holsteins and the Central Cass Squirrels. There's Josiah Crandall out there for Central Cass wrestling Charlie Irwin. That's a 4-2 lead. Over there on that mat. Now Michelson has the cradle locked up on Lyons. Lyons trying to dig out a wrist and get hand control. It'll be Michelson's. He'll have choice to start this third period. Down to 5 seconds in the second period. Both coaches for the Broncos take a peek at the clock now going into the third period. Michelson had a crossface into a screwdriver, what everyone else calls a butcher, had that locked up. I also heard it called the barbed wire now, so we got three names for the same move. Crossface, butcher, and the barbed wire. And Michelson chose us the top position to start, tries to hit that cradle again. So Michelson kind of has this reverse crossface cradle that he looks for and trying to crunch up, chomp down on the Lions as he tries to stand up. And now working hand control underneath. Now has a chicken wing hooked up. He's going to try to roll through. He's going to get rolled through. He's going to hold those shoulders down of Grayson Lyons. Lyons has got to get bridged out of here. Michelson in good position here to get a pin. Be able to roll through and get it. Has a 2 points. So the official signaling 2-point near fall on Grayson Lyons. So now a 6-0 lead for Brody Michelson. And Michelson going to go back to that chicken wing to try to roll through again and get a tilt. They're down to 1:05 to go in this third period. Michelson trying to build up some points. Now he's going to go screwdriver on Grayson Lyons. Lyons able to get those hips away and counters it. Still belly down in the match. Referee talking to Lyons, telling him he's got to have some action on the bottom. So Lyons now able to get back up to his base. It's a 9-6 dual lead for the Lisbon Broncos. You'll see that up on your screen here. We're audio only. You can also catch this on Beck Television. You see the you watch it on TV, watch it on Track Wrestling. Also listen to it on the radio. Picks it on 1220 AM there out of Oaks, North Dakota. So a lot of coverage here for the North Dakota boys. Class B, the state Class B dual team championship. And now Michelson's going to roll over again. Gets Lyons trying to hip over here as time's expiring down to 10 seconds. He's going to pick up some near fall, so he at least has 2 more near fall. We're going to get a major decision win for Brody Michelson, picking up an extra bonus point for his team. That could be the duel. You never know here. A tight duel. So now Southport is going to take the lead back and forth here. They're going to go up by a score of 11, or excuse me, be a 10-9 score. So Southport goes up 10-9 over the Lisbon Broncos. So now going to 120 pounds. It's a 10-9 lead for the South Border Mustangs. Well, Ryan Eng reports into the table for the Lisbon Broncos. This is another one of these matchups. Going head-to-head here, looking at your American Crystal Sugar, Ryan Eng for the Lisbon Broncos. Didn't make it to the state tournament this year, out of the lineup in the individual side here for the duels. And he looks like he's going to have Joseph Keller. So wrestlers reporting in. We're just waiting for the TV timeout to get over with here. So it will be Eng and Keller. So Eng and Keller, we'll go and step away. We'll go and step away for our own 30-second timeout here. You're watching YourLiveEvent.com. I'm sports announcer guy Brent Dick. And we'll be back for this match here at 120 pounds between Keller and Ryan Eng.
The Kindred Public School District looks to collaboratively cultivate an environment that challenges learners to reach their full potential in a student-centered, community-supported environment while building authentic relationships that promotes active engagement in learning, literacy, and life. Kindred Public Schools' mission is to educate, prepare, and maximize student potential. Kindred Public School District, student-centered, community-supported. For more info about upcoming school events and news, go online to kindred.k12.us.
All right, welcome back here live from the Fargo Dome, North Dakota High School State Class B Dual Team Championship. Our match out here at 120 pounds between Ryan Eng and Joseph Keller for the South Border Mustang just underway. And Eng going to go underneath Keller here, trying to hook up a fireman, now goes to an arm drag. Keller defends that well, back up to his feet. The wrestlers now lock horns. Ryan Eng takes the Keller back to the center of the mat. Now Keller in a nice single leg attack on Ryan Eng. Eng's going to try to counter out here. Gets hit to the mat. Keller's going to elevate it. Eng's going to step around. Now gets Keller. Steps into it. 2-point takedown for Ryan Eng. Reversal of fortune there on Joseph Keller as Eng gets the takedown. Able to step around. Has Keller broke down on the mat on that far side. Eng goes hammerlock over the back. Has that arm. The near arm up and over across the back of Joseph Keller. Now Eng trying to drag Keller back on the mat. Keller's fighting out. Mr. Muscles there for the South Border Mustangs, able to counter it. They go out of bounds with a 2-0 lead for Ryan Eng. Ryan wrestling 120 pounds here for the Broncos in this dual team championship against the South Border Mustangs. Off the whistle. Keller tries a quick switch, not doing anything for him. Now Eng trying to dig out that arm of Joseph Keller. Eng hits had a chop and purchase. Now going chop and purchase again. Keller belly down here with 19 seconds to go in this first period. Eng has that chicken wing hooked up, going to try to walk it around. Still has the chicken wing hooked up as final 5 seconds of this match. Walking around, going to try to run it over his knee. Now goes over, going to walk it up. The chicken wing king here from the Broncos going to try to get her over, and he won't be able to do it. So we go into the second period with a 2-0 lead for Ryan Eng. He defers his choice, and Keller's going to choose neutral position. So right away, Eng and a nice single leg shot on Joseph Keller. Keller not expecting it. Eng's going to go downtown. Elevates it, steps in, back trips Keller to the mat. It's a 4-0 lead for Ryan Eng at 120 pounds. So Keller liked what he saw there in that first period, had that single leg on Eng. Eng was able to reverse it, goes body lock and took Keller down to the mat in that first period. Now right away off the whistle, hits a single leg, takes Keller down. He's in control 4-0. Now goes hammerlock again on Joseph Keller. And kind of a contrast between these two wrestlers. You got the showy muscles of Joseph Keller and the usable muscle here on Ryan Eng, long and lean here for the Broncos. Now working the hammerlock, has that arm back across the straight back across at a 90-degree on Keller. So the Broncos here wearing their white singlets in this championship duel with the red trim. South Border Mustangs in their dark blue singlet with the right trim. It's a 10-9 duel lead for the Lisbon Broncos. For the South Border Mustangs. The Broncos Kind of a back and forth battle with the Mustangs now. Southport opens up with a pin by Nitschke. Shane Nitschke at 220 pounds. Lisbon gets a pin by Grant Lyons over Hayes at a heavyweight. Then a win by decision, 10-3 decision with Cruz Ranke over Ryland Vetter. And Southport answers back with a major decision win at 113 pounds for their 10 points. Lisbon 9 points. Now here at 120 in a rank. And now Ryan Eng has an armbar locked up. Has the wrist caught. Trying to walk it around on Keller. He's got Keller going over. Ryan Eng's going to settle in here. Has the head wrap. Keller's flat. Shoulders are flat on the mat. He's going to win by foul just like that. Ryan Eng, winner by foul for the Lisbon Broncos. Put 6 points on the board. Lisbon goes up in the duel by a score of 15-10. Quick pin by Ryan Eng. Once he got it locked up on Keller, he walked around. It was tight. And now Noah Anderson reporting in for the Broncos, going up against Tristan Lepp. This was a head-to-head matchup in the regular season where it was a sudden victory overtime win for Noah Anderson. Tristan Lepp really has turned it on here at the end of the season, so we're going to see another couple of bulls out here locking horns at 126 pounds as the Broncos grab the lead now 15-10. We're in that TV timeout, so we're going to go ahead and step away again for another 30-second timeout here on YourLiveEvent.com. On sports announcer guy Brent Dick, live from the Fargo Dome. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
The friendly staff at Lemoore Drugstore reminds you from school supplies, greeting cards, or prescription requests, you can find it all at Lemoore Drugstore. They deliver any day of the week upon request and will answer any general health questions you have. Watch out for the monthly flyer for monthly sales. Let Lemoore Drugstore be your one-stop shop. Lemoore Drugstore is located in the center of Lemoore in the Bank North Mall. For more information, go to LemooreDrugstore.com. That's LemooreDrugstore.com.
Hey, welcome back to the Fargo Dome. Sports announcer guy Brent Dick here, YourLiveEvent.com. North Dakota State High School Class B dual team championship between the Southport Mustangs, 4-time defending state Broncos here on the dual team side. Wrestling the Southport Mustangs, we have a couple of state place winners. State runner-up Noah Anderson wrestling Tristan Lepp, a fourth place state winner at 132 pounds. At 126 pounds. Noah Anderson, state place winner at 120 pounds. Yes, Lepp really has turned it on here at the end of the season, as well as Noah Anderson. Anderson up at 126 to start the season, made his way down to 120, made it in the state championship match. He and Lepp currently just kind of trading a little bit of head position, couple clubs at the head of each other. Now Lepp's going to go collar tie on Anderson. Lepp with definitely with the height advantage on Anderson, long and lean. Anderson short and stout with those showing muscles on him. Now Lepp's going to commit to a shot. Anderson goes front headlock. Lepp's going to take him out about, going body lock inside, throws Anderson down to the mat for a 2-point takedown. So Lepp got on the inside guard of Noah Anderson, body locks him and takes him down for a 2-point takedown. Yeah, Tristan Lepp wrestling with a lot of confidence here in the state dual team championship match at 126 pounds with Noah Anderson. Now goes crossface on Anderson. Anderson working some hand control. Anderson gets that arm. He's going to go try to get an arm overhead. Has Lepp is high. Anderson's going to try to come out the back door. Gets around. Now re-switch by Tristan Lepp. Good adjustment by Lepp. Drags Anderson back down to the mat just when Noah Anderson was looking like, now has a cradle locked up on Noah Anderson. Down to 26 seconds. Anderson and Lepp just kind of holding the center of the map so you can wear each other down. They get a stalemate called for a restart back in the center of the mat with 22 seconds remaining in the first period. We got a burner going on in front of us between the Hettinger Scranton Nighthawks and the Velvet Aggies. That's on mat number 11. That's a 15-16 dual score there. The Velvet Aggies pick up a win at 132 pounds. Now Anderson tries to stand up here at the end of the first period. Lepp's going to take him down with a tilt. Had that kind of tilt locked up here at the end of the period. Down to 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Time runs out on the clock. No swipes there by the official, but Tristan Lepp takes a 2-0 lead, kind of handling Noah Anderson right now. Yeah, Lepp, these wrestlers getting, I believe it's 4 pounds today. They got the 2-pound gross allowance plus the tournament allowance here for consecutive days. So Lepp could be up here over around. Could have weighed in on a 130. Anderson could have weighed in. If you weighed in for 120, like 124. So Tristan Lepp working that, trying to work that tilt against Anderson. Gets him rolled over on the edge of the mat. They go out of bounds. It looked like there was a couple swipes, but Anderson able to get rolled out of bounds. Anderson's got to stay active on the bottom trip. Lepp just a monster on top right now. A 15-10 dual lead for the Lisbon Broncos. Anderson's going to stand up. Lepp goes to that same tilt right on Anderson. Anderson's got to make the adjustment. Lepp is just going to do this to him all day long. Now Lepp drops down to the leg on Anderson. Goes back to that chicken wing, going to go for the tilt, going to try to roll through on it. Anderson giving up that arm just a little bit too easy. Now Lepp's going to make the adjustment. He gets 2-point near fall on Anderson. Now Anderson gets hand control. So he's up 4-0 on Noah Anderson, down to a minute 7 to go, a minute 6 to go in this second period. Anderson now tripoded up. Lepp goes crossface on Anderson. Lisbon with that 15-10 dual lead here at 126 pounds. Breaking for 132, looking for Riker Vetter. Riker Vetter and Griffin Greenlee more than likely to come out at 132. Griffin wrestling 126, Vetter 132 pounder, so not just based off of that matchup. We'll see who comes out here for each team. But currently in this match now, Lepp had Spladle on Anderson. Couldn't get him to move, so Anderson now is going to tripod up here with 35 seconds to go. Lepp goes front head cradle. Trying to get hand control is Noah Anderson. And now Velva Aggies kind of pulling away with this duel against the Nighthawks. 21-16 score. Now 27-16 lead for Velva Aggies. That center cast and in the New Salem duel, that's an 18-12 duel score. It looks like we're going to wind down here with 2 seconds now down to the end of the second period. That's a 4-0 lead for Tristan Lepp. Been a hammer on top. We'll see what he chooses. Going to choose the bottom position. One thing I'll have to watch out for getting out of the bottom is the Noah Anderson cradle. But Tristan Lepp just a kind of hulking over Noah Anderson right now. Now Anderson in control on top on the start here at minute 50 to go in this third period. Now Lepp able to stand up. Anderson's going to have to drop down here. Takes the leg. Tries to take the leg of Tristan Lepp. And Anderson gets that knee down, so not in jeopardy giving up a stall call yet. Unless the referee has to have him work up. Lepp trying to cradle up Anderson over the top. They get a stalemate back in the center of the mat with a minute 28 to go. Still a 4-0 lead for Tristan Lepp. So now Anderson able to get Lepp, kind of broke belly down here on the mat with that 4-0 lead. So Ethan Meyer out there for New Salem Almont on this other mat, and Pate Lamar, that's a 4-0 lead for Ethan Meyer, and an 18-12 dual lead for New Salem Almont in that third place duel. And they're on a Bank North timeout. That's over on mat number 10. And Lepp gets stood up. Anderson's going to go cradle. Lepp stands down. He goes down again. Now Anderson drops down to his legs, takes him down to the mat. Lepp's going to stand up. Anderson's going to drag it in, has a single leg locked up. Lepp's going to try to use those long arms to get Anderson down. But now Anderson going to work up on Tristan Lepp. Down to 36 seconds to go in this period. Right now, Tristan Lepp has this lead. 4-0 over Anderson. Now Anderson drops down. Lepp's going to go up over the top in a kind of situation position as Anderson's locks up on the leg on Tristan Lepp. Anderson does have Lepp on his hip. Going to step around here, maintains control of Tristan Lepp. Lepp's got to watch it so he doesn't expose his back. Lepp trying to get a 2-point reversal here to close out this period. He's currently up 4-0. Has a front head cradle locked up on Noah Anderson, but the referee's going to let that one go as there's no change in position. It's a 4-0 win for Tristan Lepp. Puts 3 points on the board. Now 15-13 dual score. Lisbon leads it by a score of 15-13. That brings us to 132 pounds. Marquee matchup here at 132. We're going to go and step away for another 30-second timeout as the wrestlers get set and get checked into the head table. We'll be back in 30 seconds on yourliveevent.com.
The Lisbon Public School District ensures that all students will learn, experience success, and be good citizens from elementary through high school. The school staff and community takes great pride in providing meaningful and innovative opportunities for our students who continue to maintain ACT scores above state and national averages. Watch your kids continue to grow within the Lisbon Public School District from the playing surface to the classroom. For more information, go online to lisbonpublicschools.com.
Successful teams need a place to practice when the weather doesn't cooperate or the teams just need an extra swing. The Mayport Youth Center provides that option for the Mayport CG School District, summer baseball and softball teams. The Mayport Youth Center is an indoor facility that includes batting cages and field turf. In the winter, the facility is home to the Mayport Ice Dog hockey team. Good luck to the Mayport CG Patriots from the Mayport Youth Center.
All right, back here, 132 matchup. We do have Cashton Waitson going out there for the Lisbon Broncos, wrestling Riker Vetter. One of these matchup I didn't expect to see. Waitson has an injury to his hand. I thought it was a broken bone in his hand, but he's out there. He has her all taped up here for the Broncos. Kind of that similar to the Marshall Lindgren hand. If some of you have seen those matches and what Marshall Lindgren has wrapped up in his hand, Waitson with a similar type of a wrap, wrestling Riker Vetter. Sure, Cashton was chomping at the bit to get out here. Now a nice elbow pass here by Vetter, trying to drag down Cashton Waitson. Waitson going to try to stand up, not go to the mat. Once he puts that hand down on the mat, it's going to be a 2-point takedown for Vetter. Vetter picks up 2 points on Cashton Waitson at 132 pounds. He goes up by a score of 2-0. One of those things Marshall Lindgren does so well is goes to that elbow pass into that leg trap. Drags the wrestler down, picks up an easy 2-point takedown off of that. At least he makes it look easy. And Vetter's going to work on top of Waitson. Waitson, now a spladle. So Vetter's going to catch Waitson in a spladle. Waitson's got to watch it here. Not going to give up any near fall, but he and Vetter are just going to fight it out here. Waitson grabbed that leg of Vetter. Vetter went down to a spladle. Now Waitson in position to get a reversal. Looking for the stalemate is Riker Vetter. They're going to get the stalemate, no near fall. So Cashton Waitson gets out there with just no damage. As Vetter went down to the drop down to that spladle, had Waitson in a lot of trouble. Yeah, down here, 15-13 dual score in favor of the Broncos. Cashton Waitson out for the Broncos. Riker Vetter for the South Border Mustangs. Vetter's going to go front headlock. He laces that leg on the inside leg. Keeping Waitson broke down to the mat. Now Vetter's going that power half over the far side. Waitson's going to try to tripod up. He's got to watch it this time as Vetter, last time he did that, Vetter went. Now has Waitson in trouble. Handful on top here down to the final 2 seconds. Waitson trying to work a reversal on Vetter at the end of the period. Now Vetter will have a 2-0 lead going into the second period with Cashton Waitson. Waitson looks over the corner. He defers. Vetter's going to choose neutral position with Cashton Waitson. So Vetter liking his odds on his feet with Waitson. Picked up the first takedown. He's up 2-0. South Border can take the lead here with a win by decision. And now a double leg shot by Vetter. Waitson's going to counter out. Waitson has that inside ankle trapped, or that near ankle trapped. The Riker Vetter. Vetter holding on. Waitson's going to inside cradle. Locked up on Riker Vetter. He gets a 2-point takedown. One thing hampering Waitson right now is just that arm wrap or that hap around his hand. We'll see if he can maintain this cradle on Vetter. And he walks it back off the mat. They get called out of bounds. Riker Vetter runs back to the center of the mat. Looks like the fresh wrestler here. Cashton Waitson stalks back. Up over Riker Vetter for this restart. A minute 23 to go. Lisbon wearing those white singlets. Vetter going to stand up on Waitson. Hits a cradle on Vetter. He gets him over to his back. He had a count there. Referee did not get down there in time. Referee did that like he slid into home plate, but not down there in time to start count. Now Waitson has a armbar hooked up on Vetter. Vetter's going to be able to sit through. Counters out on Waitson. So Waitson had a couple pinning combinations hooked up on Riker Vetter. Now he's going to walk back around, maintain control. And down to 52 seconds to go. They're working for a stalemate here between Riker Vetter and Cashton Waitson. We're tied up at 2 apiece. And Waitson trying to improve his possession. Vetter's working up over the top of Waitson. Waitson's going to go down on the leg. Vetter's going to try to, now Waitson's going to hold Vetter down. Vetter makes a bad mistake there. Miscalculation. Waitson's going to hold him down. Now working for the pin for the Broncos. Waitson's going to try to go Saturday Night Ride. Vetter gets back down, belly down. Now it's a 5-2 lead for Cashton Waitson. So Vetter, just tried to muscle through on that. An ill-advised attempt there by Riker Vetter as Waitson came over the top. Smothers Vetter, gets a 3-point near fall with 10 seconds to go. So Waitson going for another pinning combination. Has Vetter rolled over. Going to pick up a couple near fall at the end of the period. Now, a 2-point near fall for Cashton Waitson. He's up 7-2 going into the third. And Waitson has choice. I don't know. Waitson's going to choose top on Riker Vetter. Vetter was just a mauler on top of Waitson in that first period, but Waitson now going to go on the top position on Vetter. Vetter off the whistle, tries to hit a switch. Waitson's going to smother over the top. Vetter trying to work some hand control on Waitson. So down to a minute 46 to go in this third period. Lisbon's up 15-13. Southport can take the lead here after the win by Riker Vetter. Broncos looking to increase their lead. Right now, Cashton Waitson leads by a score of 7-2. Waitson's been hunting for a pin. Now he has an armbar locked up on Riker Vetter. Vetter countered it the last time. Waitson has it. Vetter's going to try to sit out, and now Waitson sucks it up, still walking it around. Vetter, that arm is cranked tight. He's going to get him rolled over. Cashton Waitson working for the pin. He pins him. So Waitson pins Riker Vetter. Adds 6 points. Now a 21-13 lead for the Lisbon Broncos. Did not expect to see Waitson in the lineup. They bring him out here, trot him out. Waitson comes up with a big pin for the Broncos. They now lead the duel 21-13. And we're going to step away for another 30-second timeout. You're watching YourLiveEvent.com. We'll be back in 30.
At Mobility Plus Rehabilitation, our mission is to provide exceptional physical and occupational therapy with highly skilled therapists who live in your community. Mobility Plus looks to minimize your pain and maximize mobility that quickly allows you to live the quality of life you desire. Your mobility is our top priority. To find a location near you or for more information, go online to mobilityplus.biz. That's mobilityplus.biz.
All right, back here live from the Fargo Dome, North Dakota State Class B Dual Team Championship between the Lisbon Broncos and the South Border Mustangs. And Lisbon leads this one by a score of 21-13. That pin by Cashton Waitson, increasing that lead, putting some bonus points up on the board for Lisbon Broncos as he gets a pin over Riker Vetter. So Waitson coming up big, injured in that individual tournament, not able to continue on, beaten out there in the I believe it was that third round of wrestlebacks by Daxton Esslinger from Napoleon. Comes back here big time for the Lisbon Broncos. Oh, now we have Carter Wallner out there wrestling Brody Hoffman. Hoffman also hurt in the Region 1 tournament with a kind of like a hip pointer in excruciating pain. You could tell throughout that whole individual portion of the tournament. The South Border electing to kind of save him now. Didn't wrestle the first two duels. Now we're wrestling Carter Wallner. This is a 50-50 toss-up every time they've been out there between Wallner and Brody Hoffman. So now Carter Wallner working a 2-point takedown, dumps Brody Hoffman down to the mat. Now working over the top is Carter Wallner for the Lisbon Broncos. The Lisbon Broncos coming up with their pre-match strategy now. Wallner just taking care of business. The senior here looking all business here today. Maul and Brody Hoffman right now on top. Has a pinning combination hooked up. Gonna pick up some near fall. Goes armbar, now head and arm hooked up on Brody Hoffman. He does have near fall coming. So Wallner picks up 2 near fall. He's up now by a score of 4-0 on Brody Hoffman. The Broncos take a 21-13. Now Wallner's going to try to lock it around. He has Hoffman going to his back, working for another pid for the Lisbon Broncos. This Carter Wallner, he has it down, both shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder up just a little bit by Brody Hoffman. Wallner has this tight. He's going to go Saturday Night Ride on Hoffman. Picks the legs up, arches his back. And he's going to win by foul for the Broncos. Is Carter Wallner over Brody Hoffman. The Broncos with another bonus point win. Just taking command here of this duel. They now lead by a score of 27-13, but never count out the South Border Mustangs. They still have quality wrestlers coming up here in their lineup, but Broncos now lead by 14. Some may have had doubts about the Bronco lineup after that individual performance. Broncos kind of came into that individual tournament battered and bruised, losing one of their stalwarts in the lineup, Gabe Lyons, returning state place winner, injured in the region individual tournament. But Broncos coming out here fired up. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Broncos lead this one by a score of 27-13. You're watching YourLiveEvent.com. I'm sports announcer guy Brent Dick. Be back in 30.
The North Border Eagle Sports Boosters mission is to cultivate an environment that inspires students, athletes, coaches, parents, and communities to collectively create a positive and spirited atmosphere for all athletic programs. Search for North Border Eagle Sports Boosters on Facebook if you'd like to become a member or for more information today. The North Border Eagle Sports Boosters wishes the Eagles the best of luck in the tournament.
All right, back here live, YourLiveEvent.com. I'm sports announcer guy Brent Dick here at the Fargo Dome for our North Dakota State Class B Dual Team Championship. Lisbon Broncos against the South Border Mustangs. Broncos and the Mustangs have met twice head-to-head during the regular season, and then also at the Dual Team Region 1 Dual Team Champions. Broncos taking both of those duels. Lisbon's built up a 27-13 lead. We're out here with Mike Nelson for the Lisbon Broncos. Placed third at the state tournament, second last year. And now Nelson and Glaseman. So Glaseman out there in your American Crystal Sugar starting lineup. So Carson Glaseman out there for South Border. Nelson trying to get this single leg takedown. Takes Glaseman down to the mat. Glaseman trying to do a leg pass. He gets it, able to elevate it over his head. So Nelson and Glaseman in a scramble position on the edge of the mat. Glaseman's going to kind of step up. Has a cradle locked up on Nelson. Nelson reverses it. So we got a double cradle locked up. Nelson's going to take him out of bounds. They had a double cradle locked up here. The state championship dual team tournament with Gleason and Nelson. Nelson does a suicide roll, gets out of bounds. So now Glaseman with a lot of nice leg attacks on Mike Nelson, not backing down from it at all. Takes Nelson down to the mat. Nelson not going to give up here. Glaseman trying to finish. Nelson goes leg pass on Glaseman. Glaseman goes over the top, crossface. Now Nelson's going to sit out. Hits a peek out. Baseball slides around. Glaseman still defending it on Nelson, but great exchange here. Each wrestler just continuing to go out and pouring their heart out into this match. At 145 pounds now, Nelson steps back around, 2-point takedown. So Nelson, with 30 seconds, secures the takedown. Now a 2-point lead for Mike Nelson. Broncos lead the duel 27-13. So Nelson's trying to go crossface. Glaseman gets a little bit of wrist control. Nelson hits a crossface as Glaseman stands up, drags him down to the mat. Now Nelson up over the top as Glaseman broke belly down, goes back to the crossface. Glaseman doing some hand fighting, able to stretch that arm of Nelson out. As time winds down, Nelson takes a 2-0 lead into the second period. It is Nelson's choice. He's going to defer. So Nelson defers. Glaseman's going to choose neutral. So a great choice there by Glaseman and the coaching staff for South Border. Really taking it to Mike Nelson on his feet. Nelson, through the scrambles, was able to come out with that 2-point takedown. Now both wrestlers just locked up, working some hand control in the center of the mat. And Nelson's driving in. Glaseman's going to counter out, trying to hit around, go around the back door, wrestling that edge of the mat. Nelson's going to reach around as Glaseman went to his hip, but Glaseman able to maintain belly down. So Glaceman out here with a little bit different singlet on there for the South Border Mustangs. Has the blue singlet with that white middle and the Mustang on the back. Mike Nelson out here in the red singlet for the Broncos, or a white singlet for the Broncos with the red trim. And Nelson shoots in. Glaceman counters. Now both wrestlers stood back up to their feet. Returning a couple of state place winners going at. Now Glaceman, nice leg attack on Nelson again. Single leg. Nelson's going to whizzer out. So Nelson whizzers out on Glaceman. Now Nelson goes down for a kind of a high crotch fireman's. Glaceman counters out, stands back up. Glaceman going front headlock. Nelson counters, goes Russian tie on Glaceman. Kind of in that drag position. Trying to hit that palm down on the mat. Now Nelson back trips Glaceman. Glaceman's going to catch Nelson on his hip. Nelson able to right the ship, gets back up to his knees. As this is just a back and forth battle between Carson Glaceman and Mike Nelson. And Nelson places third at 145 pounds for the Broncos. In your American Crystal Sugar lineup, Carson Glaceman plays fifth for the South Border Mustangs. Nelson a junior, Glaceman also a junior for South Border. So that duel for third place, 38-18 score. So New Salem Almont leads 38-18 over the Central Cass Squirrels. So Nelson to start this third period. Last choice, he's going to choose bottom. So Nelson in the bottom position to start the period. Nelson stands up, gets an escape. Now he's up 3-0 on Carson Glaceman. And Nelson on a single leg tack now drops down to a double on Glaceman. He's going to go forklift position. Glaceman, nice sprawl, has those hips down on the mat. A lot of pressure on top. Gets a stalemate call as Nelson was in deep on a double leg. Down to a minute 35. Clock continues to run there. Down to a minute 32 to go in this third period. Mike Nelson for the Broncos leads by a score of 3-0. So Nelson up 3-0. Glaceman and Nelson now locked horns in the center of the mat. Nelson drops down to a single. Glaceman counters. Both wrestlers on their knees doing some hand fighting. Glaceman drops down, chases levels. Nelson back up to his feet. You're down to a minute to go in the third period. And Nelson with the collar tie. Glaceman working some wrist control on Nelson. Now tries to drag it. Backs out of that. Does Carson Glaceman. Both wrestlers back to the knee. They both change level. Now Glaceman drops down. Nelson counters, goes into Glaceman, runs up a front headlock. Nelson trying to arm drag right out of bounds. They go out for the out of bounds call back to the center of the mat for a restart. Down to 37 seconds to go in the third period. And Glaceman and Nelson locked up in the center of the mat. Nelson drops down, changes levels. Now Glaceman's going to counter back, backing up. Nelson going into Glaceman. Now Glaceman's going to drop down for a single on Nelson. Down to 15 seconds to go. Nelson's going to drag around, trying to get behind Glaceman, and he does it. 2-point takedown for Mike Nelson. Kind of seals the deal here. He's up by 5 points with 10 seconds remaining. The wrestlers will go back to the center of the mat for a restart in the referee position. So Mike Nelson maintaining control on top. He's going to win by decision. He's up by 5 points here with 5 seconds. Returns Glaceman down to the mat. So Mikey Nelson, winner by decision. That increases the Bronco lead. So the Broncos add 3 more points with the win by decision here with Mike Nelson. Broncos up now 30-13 over the South Border Mustangs. Well, Lisbon coaches coming up with a lineup that South Border has not been able to figure out yet. Now we're going to go to 145 pounds. So Marshall Lindgren going to 145. We're going to push out Jordan Dick to wrestle Marshall Lindgren. So South Border pulling a few tricks out of their hat here with Lindgren at 145. That's a 30-13 duel score. He started the duel at 220 pounds, so still have, or excuse me, here 152. He didn't Didn't change the lineup around here, so just had to check there. So we are going to take another 30-second timeout. We'll be back here for this match at 152 pounds. You're listening to YourLiveEvent.com. Be back in 30.
Enterprises, your local precision planting dealer. We are less than 90 days until spring planting. 90 days. Are you ready? Is your maintenance plan in place? Do you have parts on hand? Are any upgrade options decided on and purchased? We can help. Spring will be here before you know it, and we will help you meet the challenge. Contact RDK Enterprises at planterdoc.com. That's planterdoc.com.
All right, welcome back here live from the Fargo Dome. Our match is underway as Marshall Lindgren opens up the first 5 seconds with a 2-point takedown on Jordan Dick. Jordan Dick out here for the Lisbon Broncos. They're trying to work some hand control here with Marshall Lindgren. Lindgren up over the top with his head cradle. And Jordan Dick going to try to stay hip down. Lindgren's going to try to dig out this wrist of Jordan Dick. And Dick still belly down to the mat there as he's working the far side edge of the mat with Marshall Lindgren. And now 38-18 dual lead here for the Salem Holsteins. And that's for your third place match. Now Lindgren, you're working that front head cradle on Jordan Dick. Going to lock up this inside leg, and Lindgren's just going to try to muscle this over. Dick goes down to the mat with Lindgren. So in the Salem Holsteins and Central Cass now up on his feet is Jordan Dick. That's a 2-1 lead for Marshall Lindgren. And down to 40 seconds to go in this first period. So now Jordan Dick, it takes a swipe at Lindgren's leg there. Now Lindgren doubles in, changes level. He does that so well, such speed on Marshall Lindgren when he changes levels and shoots. Like a panther down there, snatches up a single leg on Jordan Dick. He scores a 2-point takedown now, has a 4-1 lead here with 15 seconds to go in the first period. We got a 37-25 dual score here between Velva Aggies and the Nighthawks. And they're at 182 pounds. They still have one more weight class to go. That's for your consolation finals there. For fifth place, that's Jaden Foss picking up a pin over Brody Sott. Now 43-25 dual lead for Velva Aggies. So we're going to go to the second period. It's a 4-1 lead for Marshall Lindgren. He'll be in the bottom position. Jordan Dick on top. And also third place match between New Salem and Central Cass. You can also catch that on YourLiveEvent.com. They're also at 182. That's Colton Becker out there with Brandon Preston for Central Cass. It's a 2-0 lead right now for Colton Becker. New Salem Almont leads 2-0. So Dick and Lindgren up to his feet. Has a 1-point escape. Tried that arm drag around on Jordan Dick. Jordan Dick able to counter it. He's going to hold on to Lindgren's arm. Try to high crotch fireman. Lindgren able to counter out. So Broncos lead the duel 30-13. Lindgren looking for some bonus points here for the Southport Mustangs. Trying to answer back with these Lisbon wins. Now Lindgren working underneath, trying to hit a tilt here. Goes half Nelson over the top on Jordan Dick. Jordan Dick trying to work wrist control underneath. Lindgren has that, they call it the ball and chain tilt, or I call it forearm tilt. Jordan Dick now warned with stalling. Lindgren's going to try to work out an armbar on Jordan Dick. They're working the near edge of the mat. They're right by the scorers table. Lindgren rolls around Jordan Dick, still based up. Now he's going to try to stand up. Lindgren takes now Dick. Nice hip heist away for a 7-2 lead now for Marshall Lindgren, down with 30 seconds to go in the second period. I think Lindgren's just looking for an opening here to get Jordan Dick on his back. As now Dick's over the top. Lindgren's going to drag him down. Arm drags over the top for a 2-point takedown. Now he's up 9-2. So Lindgren looks like he's going to change strategies here with Jordan Dick working on top. Goes to the inside leg rod, spikes the back ankle. And we're going to wind down here. Going into the third period, it's a 9-2 lead, 7-point lead for Marshall Lindgren. Takes a look at his bench. They're going to tell him he wants to take the top position. Lindgren's looking around. He's going to go bottom position with Jordan Dick. So Lindgren goes bottom position. Jordan on top. Lindgren stands up. Has an escape within the first 4 seconds. Now 9-2 lead. Lindgren, nice double leg, is going to take Jordan Dick down to his backside. Dick gets belly down. Now it's 2-point takedown, so it's a 12-2 lead, so up by 10 points. Now a 12-2 lead. Down to a minute 30 to go. So right now a major decision. 4-point win going here for Marshall Lindgren. Looking for the fall, wants to get these bonus points, few more bonus points. Working a half Nelson on that far side. Jordan Dick doing everything he can here. The ball and chain or the far arm tilt. Now goes bar arm. Lindgren's hunting for that far wrist. Has the arm bar locked up behind the back of Jordan Dick. We're going to get a still no stall warning. So there is one stall warning by Jordan Dick. Now Marshall Lindgren just working that arm of Jordan Dick. Dick head buried down on the mat with a 55 seconds to go. They're really working some hand control on the bottom as Jordan Dick not able to get much offense going. Has a couple of escapes, but Marshall Lindgren right now with a 12-2 lead. The Broncos still with Blaze Ranke to come up here at 160 pounds. Lindgren getting just a little bit high on that edge of the mat. Down to 35 seconds to go. Lindgren still can get a pin here. This match is not over here for picking up bonus points for Marshall Lindgren. Jordan Dick riding him tough. Reminds me of a match a few years ago with Southborder and the Lisbon Broncos. Couple cousins locked up there with Ashton Peterson and Granger Dick. And now Lindgren up on the top here. Top position goes half Nelson. Has a chicken wing hooked up. Now Dick able to get base down. Plants both hands on the mat, working a stand up. Tries to go a Peterson roll. Lindgren going to defend out of that. Down to 15 seconds to go. Kind of coming up with an MVP move here is Jordan Dick for the Lisbon Broncos, not giving up the 5 or 6 bonus points. So he'll hold it to a major decision. So Jordan Dick for the Lisbon Broncos going out there does what he needs to do, holding it to a 4-point win for Marshall Lindgren. So now Blaze Ranke reporting in there to the head table. So we do have that timeout here, waiting for Beck to get caught up here. So we're still here live. YourLiveEvent.com, sports announcer guy Brent Dick. With our duel here, kind of recap our duel between the Lisbon Broncos and the Southborder Mustangs. They're up to at 160 pounds with Blaze Ranke, the state runner-up for the Lisbon Broncos at 152 pounds. So we started the duel at 220 pounds. Shane Nitschke wins by foul over Aiden Hinkle. Southborder leads 6-0. Grant Lyons comes out, tracks down Josh Hayes, throws him on his back for a 6-point pin. Lisbon ties it up. Cruz Ranke coming out 106 pound, picks up a big win. And that was over Ryland Vetter. Now we're back in action between Ranke. So Blaze Ranke now out there for the Lisbon Broncos. He's wrestling Cole Stock. A couple of state place winners going at it. Ranke, the state runner-up. And Cole Stock for the Southborder Mustangs placed 7th at 160 pounds. So Ranke now doubles up on Cole Stock, and they take him down to the mat. 2-point takedown for Blaze Ranke. Ranke goes into a tilt on Stock right away, wasting no time as Blaze Ranke has this chicken wing tilt locked up. Those shoulders of Stock, he's got to watch it there. He tried to bridge out of there, and both shoulder blades touched the mat momentarily. So Ranke picks up a 3-point near fall. He's up 5-0 over Cole Stock. So it's a 30-17 dual score lead for the Lisbon Broncos. The Broncos up here 30-17. And Ranke with the chicken wing tilt locked up. Has Cole Stockbrook belly down on the mat. So Stockbrook belly down on the mat. Ranke with that chicken wing tilt. Broncos lead the duel 30-17. So 30-17 lead by the Broncos. Ranke picking up some more near fall. Going to pick up his 3 near fall. Now up 8-0 here in the first period. It still hasn't broke that hold yet. So referee official now awards it. So up 8-0 with 25 seconds to go in this first period. Broncos up 30-17. So 30-17 lead for the Lisbon Broncos. So Broncos up 30-17. Ranke with that tilt locked up once again. Both wrestlers now stood up on their feet. Ranke has 11-0 lead, started the second period. So Ranke leads by a score of 11-0. And now Stock stands up. Ranke up 13-0, picks up a 2-point takedown in the second period. So Blaze Ranke in control. Over Cole Stock. And now Ranke still working on top here. Down to a minute 20 to go in the second period. Blaze Ranke here working this far edge of the mat here, closest to the scorer's table. Yeah, Braden Seltzler out there at 195 working this pin here for the Velvet Aggies, trying to seal the win. They're up 43-25, and that runs out of time. So that'll do it. So taking 5th place are the Velvet Aggies. Then New Salem Holsteins take 3rd place. They won 50-24 over Central Cass. Now Blaze Ranke has that tilt hooked up. He's going to pick up 3 near fall. And Ranke will win here by tech fall, picking up 5 points for the Lisbon Broncos. So 35-17. They're going into 170 pounds. So Lisbon Broncos taking a commanding lead up by 18 points in the duel. And Broncos, Blaze Ranke coming up, wins by tech fall. They go back to our kind of recap of the duel. Or back up to 106 pounds with that win by decision by Cruz Ranke. Brody Michelson at 113 pounds wins by major decision over Grayson Lyons. 120 pounds, Ryan Eng wins by fall over Joseph Keller. Tristan Lepp wins by decision 4-0 over Noah Anderson. 132, Cashton Wadeson enters the lineup for the Broncos, provides a spark. Wins by fall over Riker Vetter at the 4:45 mark. 138, Carter Wallner takes care of business with Brody Hoffman. The injured Brody Hoffman wins by fall in 1:41. Mike Nelson at 1:45 over Carson Glaceman, a Southporter by decision 5-0. Marshall Lindgren picks up a major decision win over Jordan Dick. Another MVP performance there for Jordan Dick. Been all up and down the line for the Broncos. Coming out here wrestling one of their best duels of the season. Now 160, Cole Stock and Blaze Ranke. Blaze Ranke wins that one by tech fall over Cole Stock. Brings us up 170 pounds. Bowden Greenlee weighs in here, wrestling 170 pounds against Herman Koch for the South Border Mustangs. So we have the great one out there, Bowden Greenlee for the Lisbon Broncos. And Greenlee right away out here with a 2-point takedown. They're working against Stock's going to tilt him over. Chicken wing tilt, rolls through on it. So Ranke's going to roll through on that chicken wing tilt, picks up his 3 points, now up 5-0 at the minute 25 mark in the first period. And Greenlee, 5-time state champion, 6-time state place winner for the Broncos. Herman Kalk, state place winner here for the South Border Mustangs. And Greenlee has this bar half locked up on Herman Kalk. Kind of a signature move for for Greenlee. Has Kalk flat. Now he's going to win by a pin for the Lisbon Broncos. So that'll seal the deal for the Broncos. With that pin by Bowden Greenlee, the senior coming through for the Broncos with a big pin. So 41-17 lead for the Lisbon Broncos. They will be your North Dakota State Class B high school dual team championships. Bowden getting a hug from Coach Rich Lucina. The Broncos coming through here in the dual team portion. Holsteins win the individual team title. Broncos coming back here for the dual team championship, just taking it to the South Border Mustangs. They lead 41-17 with Levi's Femme here taking the mat at 182 pounds. We still have 182 and 195 to go. So 195 likely will have a match here at 195 with Drew Anderson and Schumacher. So Sven and Nitschke coming out here at 182. The Broncos just too much to handle today here for the South Border Mustangs. And not in the lineup is Gabe Lyons at 195, but the Broncos able to fill those holes with their depth in the Bronco wrestling program. It proves once again to be a strength for the Lisbon Broncos as they're going to win this dual team championship. Claim their 5th in a row. You got to add another year to the banners hanging up in the high school gymnasium, and also the banners up in the wrestling room and the billboards outside of town. The Broncos able to celebrate another state championship. And Nitschke and Svem going to lock up here, locking horns in the center of the mat, trading collar ties. You say these matches don't need anything. They mean a lot to these wrestlers out there wrestling in the state championship tournament, so getting their chance out here. The wrestlers may never have a chance here to, it might be the last chance or last match they wrestle in their careers. With Nitschke and Levi Svem. Svem a senior for the Lisbon Broncos. So down with the scoreless first period so far. Now Nitschke, nice level change on this Fem. This Fem just comes with a chin whip across the face and whips Nitschke down. Now going to half. Nelson has it locked up on Nitschke. Levi's Fem's going to win by fall. Just like that, Levi's Fem, half Nelson on Nitschke, locks it up tight. The senior comes through for the Broncos, and he's going to win by fall. And quick pins here called today by the referees. It's a 47-17 dual score lead for the Lisbon Broncos going into 195 pounds. So Daniel Schumacher coming out here, state place winner for the South Border Mustangs, wrestling Drew Anderson. Tell you what, the shoulder blades hits the mat today in these dual matches, and you're pinned. There's no 2-second count or much of a chance there to get out of it. We're waiting here for our TV timeout. We'll go and step away for our own 30-second break. We'll be back here on YourLiveEvent.com. I'm sports announcer guy Brent Dick. We're live from the Fargo Dome. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Is a planning season for farmers, a time when your mind is on your fields. But the shorter days doesn't mean there's less work to be done. At Sis van der Haaf, we know that lower temps won't cool your passion for production. We're continually striving to develop sugar beet varieties that thrive despite the pressures from disease and the challenges of nature. Because sharing the pride of success starts with sharing the passion to achieve it. Sis van der Haaf, a passion that grows.
All right, back here live from the Fargo Dome. Lisbon Broncos, South Border Mustangs. The Lisbon Broncos will be your North Dakota State Class B dual team champions for the 5th year in a row. Maybe this, I believe, the 6-1 in program history. There, 195 pounds. Drew Anderson out there for the Lisbon Broncos, wrestling Daniel Schumacher. And down to minute 45, first 15 seconds of this match. Schumacher with an underhook. Anderson trying to counter. They get taken out of bounds here for a restart. Daniel Schumacher holding the center of the mat. Anderson on the outside back to the out-of-bounds line. Now Schumacher goes Russian tie and Anderson. Anderson clomps over the head. They're trying to drag down Schumacher to the mat. Going to stop the momentum of Daniel Schumacher with that Russian tie. And now they're broke apart again. Schumacher back to the center of the mat. Nice level change on Drew Anderson. Drops down to a double. Anderson trying to scramble out here, hit a leg pass. Now Schumacher gets a 2-point takedown at the minute mark here in this first period at 195 pounds. Once again, the Broncos will be your North Dakota State Class B dual team champions for the 5th year in a row. And now Schumacher has an armbar locked up, has Anderson over here right next to the scorer's table, working for the fall for the Southport Mustangs, trying to close this one out with a pin. This is Daniel Schumacher, high bridge by Drew Anderson. We'll see how long he could hold it here, down to 37 seconds. And Schumacher's going to sit through, putting a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Drew Anderson. Oh, championship all but locked up here for the Broncos. Just a matter what this final score will be between the Mustangs and the Lisbon Broncos. And Schumacher still with that double armbar and sitting through, looking up at his coaches there. He's going to come around, scoop the head, makes the adjustment. The coaches are like, hey, you got too much pressure on that. His shoulders aren't down on the mat. Now Schumacher's going to go head and arm, goes north and south. Anderson able to get belly down, so he's going to extend this match. Schumacher's going to take a 5-0 lead into the second period. So 5-0 lead here for Drew Anderson, or for Daniel Schumacher. Anderson's going to start on top in the second period. Broncos lead 47-17. Be your North Dakota High School State Class B dual team champions. And Daniel Schumacher stands up, working a double leg. Anderson trying to hip down. And Schumacher just going to drives in. Now Anderson and Schumacher break apart as they dance back into the center of the mat. And Daniel Schumacher now going over-unders on Drew Anderson. Anderson here countering out with his underhook. Takes Schumacher out to the edge of the mat. And they get a restart back to the center at the minute 29 here to go in the second period. So the Broncos 47-17 right now with the lead, and all but claim the dual team championship. Just a matter of what our final score will be as we close out the North Dakota State Class B wrestling tournament. And taking third place, New Salem Holsteins. Taking fifth place are the Velva Aggies. We did wrestle here to 7th and 8th place. It's the first time we wrestled to 7th and 8th place. And that'll be your winner. So Daniel Schumacher is going to win here by fall. We had a big crowd in front of us. Couldn't really see what was going on. Daniel Schumacher wins by fall at the minute mark here in the second period. So the North Dakota State Class B dual team champions are the Lisbon Broncos. The Broncos win by a score of 47-23 with that pin there by Daniel Schumacher. So Broncos win 47-23, your North Dakota State Class B dual team champions. We're here live from the Fargo Dome. I'm sports announcer guy Brent Dick, listening to YourLiveEvent.com. We're going to take a little break, come back here, recap our duel here with our post-game HTC post-game connection show, Hallstatt Telephone Company, keeping you connected. Discover local reliability you can trust. HallstattTelephone.com.
From Piper's Auction and Realty. We have an excellent auction featuring 425 acres of great cropland located in Cass County, North Dakota. The Nelson Family Cropland Auction will take place at the Governor's Inn, Castleton, North Dakota, starting at 3 p.m. on March 14th. This will be a live and online auction. High-quality cropland near Arthur, North Dakota rarely hits the open market. Don't miss this sale. For questions, call me, Steve Dalen, at 701-893-8517.
New Golden Harvest Gold Series soybeans are here. In the Hillsboro area, contact Tim Cassette, 701-430-0877. These new Golden Harvest Gold Series soybeans feature exclusive genetics and high-demand trait platforms like Enlist E3 soybeans and XtendFlex soybeans. Golden Harvest Seeds. Talk with your area representative, Tim Cassette, 701-430-0877 for Golden Harvest Seed.
All right, welcome back here Your liveevent.com. I'm sports announcer guy Brent Dick. We're live from the Fargo Dome with our HTC post-game connection show. The Lisbon Broncos win this duel by a score of 47-23, claim the North Dakota State Class B dual team championship, their 5th in a row. I believe it's the 6th in program history, also getting one in 2008. Here, Broncos looking over the kind of recapping your duel here in the Fargo Dome. In our championship duel, we started at 220 pounds with with Shane Nitschke winning by fall over Aiden Hinkle of the Lisbon Broncos in 56 seconds. Southborder takes a 6-0 lead in the duel. 285 Grant Lyons wins by fall over Joshua Hayes. It ties the duel up at 6 apiece. Cruz Ranke comes out for the Broncos over Ryland Vetter with a decision 10-3. And that got the Broncos started on a roll here inside the Fargo Domes. With that Cruz Wanke win, kind of put a little spark in the Broncos. And also at 113, Brody Michelson wins by decision, major decision over Grayson Lyons. But at 120, Ryan Eng for the Broncos wins by fall over Joseph Keller with the 3:49 mark. Tristan Lepp picks up a win by decision 4-0 over the Lisbon Broncos. Cashton Waitson at 132 coming in. The injured Cashton Waitson with his hand wrapped up wins by fall over Riker Vetter. And 138, Carter Wallner wins over Brody Hoffman by fall at the minute 41 mark. 145, Mike Nelson over Carson Glazman by a decision 5-0. Then Marshall Lindgren wins by major decision over Jordan Dick. Kind of an MVP performance by Jordan Dick going out there against Marshall Lindgren, only giving up 4 points or 14 points. 160, Blaze Ranke wins by tech fall over Cole Stock. Couple of state place winners going at it out there with Ranke coming out on top of that one by tech fall. Then 170, 5-time state champion Bowden Green, the 6-time state place winner, wins by fall over Herman Koch at the 58-second mark. 182, Levi Svem over Jace Nitschke by fall in a minute 12. Slams on that half Nelson and really tight and rolls Nitschke over for the fall. And Daniel Schumacher closes out the duel here with a win for the Southborder Mustangs, giving them their 23 points and wins by fall in 3 minutes over Drew Anderson. So the Broncos, your North Dakota State Class B dual team champions. Looking at RDK Enterprises, feature a move with the wrestler of the match. Get ready for the strong planting season. RDK Enterprises for maintenance parts and upgraded options they can help. Spring will be here before you know it, and let RDK Enterprises meet the challenge with you. Contact RDK Enterprises at plannerdot.com. So our RDK Enterprises feature move wrestler of the duels goes to Cashton Waitson. Waitson hurting that individual portion, has his hand wrapped up, comes out here, enters the lineup at 132 pounds, and just took it to Riker Vetter, winning by fall, and really putting the Broncos, or kind of putting this duel out of reach after that win by Cashton Waitson. So Cashton Waitson is your RDK Enterprises feature move wrestler of the duel. And your Enbridge Energy wrestler of the match. Life takes energy. Enbridge Energy of Life. Enbridge.com for career opportunities. That's going to go to Bowden Greenlee for the Lisbon Broncos. So Bowden Greenlee has been a mainstay in the Bronco lineup all season long, going back, 6 years, back to 7th grade where he placed 3rd in the state tournament. Closing out his career as a Bronco, as a 5-time state champion, also has the Class B consecutive wins leader. So Bowden Greenlee will be your Enbridge Energy wrestler of the match. Life takes energy. Enbridge Energy for Life. Enbridge.com for career opportunities. That's going to go to Bowden Greenlee for Lisbon Broncos. At 170 pounds, he picks up a pin by fall over Herman Koch. And that'll do it here from the Fargo Dome. Lisbon Broncos win by a score of 47-23 over the Southborder Mustangs. Claim their 5th consecutive North Dakota State Class B dual team championship in 6th in the program history. You're listening to YourLiveEvent.com. This broadcast today of this tournament game has been authorized by special arrangement the Board of Directors of the North Dakota High School Activities Association. So we're happy to be here bringing you this broadcast live from the North Dakota State Class B dual team tournament. And also for the individual portion of the tournament, we'd like to thank our sponsors for getting us here and providing this coverage of the North Dakota State Class B, Class A, and State Class girls wrestling tournament as well. So once again, thanks for listening here. Lisbon Broncos prevail over the Southborder Mustangs. Your 2023 North Dakota State Class B dual team champions. And that'll close it out here from the Fargo Dome. I'm sports announcer their guy, Brent Dick. We'll see you next season for more wrestling action on YourLiveEvent.com.
Your family farm has been adapting to challenges in the field for generations. Taupe Insurance is here to help you weather the storm when those challenges arise. Visit with Taupe Insurance today about a quote or review of your policies. Taupe Insurance offers coverage on your farm's assets, crop and hail insurance, plus home and auto, commercial and life insurance. Stop in for a visit today at their office in Castleton or give Taupe Insurance a call at 701-347-4045.
Let's get real. Get ready for a place that's big enough to grow and small enough to care. The University of Minnesota Crookston offers more than 35 majors, minors, and certificates. Earn a University of Minnesota degree, where you can make a difference in a close-knit community. Faculty become friends and friends feel like family. You don't need a big city, just big dreams. The University of Minnesota Crookston. Real, hands-on, and will get you ready for anything.